how much have you made from doing these things that you do?
The most we made is about 500K, a little bit over 500K. That's now in revenue wise. Profit wise, it's usually about 30% of the revenue amount. Last year we did a little bit over 2 million in revenue, and we used to host tournaments. So this was when I was 16. It was COVID time, so then we became the biggest Discord server in South Africa. You can search it up, evac tournaments. We had crazy crash prize pool tournaments, 33,000 rand for one sponsored by NSML, which was like a Nigerian company. I think a lot of entrepreneurs will have their lowest when they reach zero. When you're at the top and then all of a sudden at the bottom again.
What you mean with it?
You just lose practically not all your money, but like you maybe have a lot of money and then you know what I mean?
Like, I think people want to know what you're talking about.
So
let's be specific. What happened?
Okay, look, one example, 18.
Yeah.
I'm making a good amount of money, past matric, we enjoy. I was finally getting a little bit of freedom. I enjoyed that money way too much. Almost half of it gone in like 3 months.
Are you shy to tell us what you mean by enjoying?
Oh, I mean, wait till like... Usually the reason how I stopped to spend as much money as before is like most of the time you're gonna buy something trying to impress people you don't even like.
Someone is in a situation where they only have 1,000 rands or 1,000 US dollars. That's the only money that they have. Can you advise them on what they can do to change the situation?
I'd say, okay, equip yourself firstly with...
Today on the Built From Nothing podcast, I sit down with Aslam Sulaman, a young entrepreneur who turned struggle into strategy and built a real online business from scratch. In this episode, Aslam breaks down the exact mindset, the moves, and the money decisions that helped him turn ideas into income so that you can take those same principles and apply them to your own life. Now, please do me a favor. If at any point in this interview you find value, anything that appeals to you, helps you to have a mindset shift or an idea of a business that you can start for yourself, please simply subscribe. Not only does it help the podcast to grow, but it also motivates us to keep bringing in more guests like this who can bring some of the answers to the questions that you have from their own personal stories. Now, let's get into the interview. So, Aslam, for those who are seeing you for the first time, just give us a brief introduction into who exactly you are and what exactly you do.
All right. So firstly, thank you for having me on. I actually hadn't mentioned this one at all. Before I started making money online, I actually watched a few of your YouTube videos. So when I saw you firstly follow me and then invite me onto the podcast, I was mind blown. Like, it was a full circle moment. It's a full circle moment to be here. So I must say thank you personally for having me on. And yeah, my name's Aslam Sulaman. I pretty much do e-commerce. That's mainly what I started off doing. And I do training on this side and also help people here and there understanding exactly how these things all work. Other than that, yeah, I think that's what most people know before.
And so the big question that everyone always wants me to ask upfront is, how much have you made from doing these things that you do?
So when it comes into how much maybe not how much I've made, but the businesses I've made.
Yeah.
The most we made is about 500K, a little bit over 500K. That's now in revenue wise. Profit wise, I mean, that's going to be for people to come to that amount. It's usually about 30% of the revenue amount. And that's with all the businesses from evac, which is the gaming desktop business, evac, Hermes, and yeah, some other things that we do on the side. And yeah, that's the most of the monthly basis. Sorry, that's a monthly basis. No, it's not a total.
So you're saying about 500?
Yeah. So last
month
we did 500K.
Okay.
In total revenue.
Okay.
Evac, a little bit over 300,000.
We're talking red, right? Okay. And then, like, let's just say maybe after the whole year has passed, let's look at like maybe last year, or is it getting better this year, or what? How does it work?
It is getting better for the businesses, not myself. Last year we did a little bit over 2 million in revenue on evac. And yeah, that's just supplying a bunch of desktops and components and all of those things.
So you're an IT person, like.
I've got quite the backstory from like how I got into gaming and everything. So how everything started was back in the day, I very much was an avid gamer, and my parents, they wanted me to focus on school. So having African parents, they made sure that when it was time for school, it was time for school. So I couldn't play games. They'd take away my my PC, my console, whatever it was. By that time, it was console. So I really loved gaming. So they would take it away so I could just focus in school. So I kind of made it a passion of mine to one day just make enough money. Not like I have any vendetta with against my parents, because of course I think they were doing the best for me. And I just never sold.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just made it a thing for myself to make enough money to move out the house, and then I can game whenever I want. I wanted to be a YouTuber and gaming and all that stuff.
Okay.
So
So your motivation was that you wanted to just game.
just game.
And not have mom and dad in your on the side, personally.
But it was a proper fight that we would have. To the point where what happened was, now Fortnite's a big game when it came out. And my friends are all playing it, and I'm now a grade 8, grade 9. My friends are all playing it, and they come me to school, they're talking about, oh, how we play this. I am hating this moment. And over there is when there was this like community in South Africa that was being built off of gaming in South Africa, because like you can't ping and all of that stuff.
Yes.
So there's now a community of people that I joined, and like when I wouldn't have my gaming equipment for like a few months, I would just be in these discords and speaking to people and seeing the tournaments and all of that. And then I got kind of inspired from this, and then from there I decided to start my own type of thing where I would host tournaments for people to play Fortnite.
Okay.
Right. And I didn't have any game like console or anything during this time, so I'd have somebody else to like run the games and the matches and everything. And we used to host tournaments that then, I think this was when I was 16. So then a year after that began, then it was COVID time. So then we became the biggest Discord server in South Africa.
Okay.
And
what's Discord for someone who has no idea what you're talking about?
so Discord is like kind of a WhatsApp for gamers, so to say. It's a massive platform. I know that there's now a lot of people with digital services that have their things on that Discord. So it's like a WhatsApp just for gamers. You join groups, you join different, and you just meet other people.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of South Africans into our Discord. It grew to being very big. I grew a staff team. This was from when I was 16 to 17. I had a staff team now working with me, and now we are starting to make cash.
At 17, you had a team.
Yeah, we had a programmer. So like they'll play the game, and after the game was done, they would then take a picture of like when they died, how many kills they got, and then go post it on the Discord. And then what would happen is we would then have that systemized into a ladder or a table.
And you're doing this at 17.
Yeah, but I did have help on that part of things. I was more like the marketer, ones coming up with the ideas. And I mean, you can search it up, evac tournaments.
Okay.
We had crazy cash prize pool tournaments, 33,000 Rand sponsored by NSML, which was like a Nigerian company. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest African competitive esports tournaments, 33,000 Rand. You didn't have to pay, you didn't have to do anything. You just had to be in a
play gate.
33,000 Rand. The first place got, I think, like it was trios. So I think first place got about, what was it, 15,000, 16,000. And I mean, it's quite a, these were young people.
Yeah.
Also young people. So that's how we grew. And that's, people just came to be, I think that year, just when I was 17, when this thing just grew up to be a big thing.
Yeah.
During COVID as well. So it was very lucky that people were indoors. So that whole year, we probably did a little bit over 50,000 in just cash prize tournaments. Before that, we were having paid to enter tournaments. So I was making cash through people paying maybe like 150 Rand.
Yeah.
Get 100 people, or like 100 Rand. Get 100 people to join.
Yeah.
10,000 Rand. And then from there, we'd have a cash prize full tournament of maybe 5,000 Rand, and then we'd take the rest.
That's because everyone's at home, they're stuck, they're all willing to just jump in.
Yeah.
Making a lot of money there.
We were making good money off the Discord. Okay. And that's what led into evac Tech. That's now the company that grew from evac Gaming.
Okay.
Because we had 5,500 Discord members over here. Yeah. And I was thinking, how do I monetize this a little bit more? Mm-hmm. So a friend asked me, yo, I built my first PC. By the way, even the PC that I built, my parents would take that away. But I very much respected it, today at least. The way that started was my friend asked me, hey, I want to build a PC. Can you just give me some parts that I could use? And also, could you build it for me?
Yeah.
So cool. I just gave him a few specs lists and I added a little bit of profit, and he agreed to it. It was a good amount of profit.
But what made him think that you could build the PC for him?
Well, he was a friend where in Discord we would had like our own channels, so then we would speak on like a daily basis. I'd speak to him, and he knew that I built my own PC.
Yeah.
And obviously he could trust me because I mean I run the biggest Discord in South Africa.
Okay.
So he could trust me just based off of that, and from there he made the payments. And then I thought, okay, well, if I can do this with one person and I've got a bunch of other people,
Yeah.
let me open something bigger.
Yeah.
So that's where evac then started.
So evac does what exactly now?
So now evac, we supply gaming desktops. So I'll generally say we're most affordable in the whole country.
Okay.
We for the budget person. I think the closest person to us in price range is like 1,000, 2,000 rand more expensive than us, and that's like maybe the most trusted company, so to say.
Okay.
Not most trusted, but most well-known company. There isn't the way we're doing things. There isn't anyone doing it like us. And we just saw these gaming desktops to gamers that want to get into the PC side of things, and the graphics cards and all of those components for PCs. I mean, you know, yeah, get the gist of what.
Yeah, to get it. Again. So like, others are playing games, they're having fun, but then you are seeing business opportunities. Where does this come from?
I'm very happy my parents didn't allow me to do gaming, because like I was passionate about the game at that stage. Like now, even in matric, because that's now getting to matric, and that's already I've started my business. Can check on my YouTube.
Yeah.
At the end of grade 11, I mean, I really made 50K off of just the 2 months of starting this business. Had a little other few ventures, which are still today, because we were now speaking about e-commerce and dropshipping.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that I believe more that a person should be able to create a brand, something that can sell over time with using the dropshipping model. Mm-hmm. So all of the businesses I've started, I've never started like more things on top of that. I just wanted to grow this one thing, make it bigger and bigger, e-commerce, and then hopefully a physical store that in the future I can sell it off for like without me in my face, without anything, just
okay,
a lot of money.
Okay.
So at this point, you know, I don't game anymore. I just focus on the business. And yeah, I saw a lot of people playing during that time. When I saw people playing, it sucked, but there was no way for me. I had to abide with what my parents were saying.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that things worked out at the end of the day. And today, at least I can stream sometimes still to showcase our PCs, and at least I got what I wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how evac started.
That's a interesting story. Kudos to your parents for saying no. Yeah, very interesting. You said commentator, you know.
Yeah. I've always had the spirit for it.
Okay. So you mentioned, okay, you were doing gaming. What else are you doing that's, because you did mentioning my businesses.
So there's Hermes Academy, which is Hermes. Yeah.
Okay.
So Hermes Academy is where we teach people how to do or to create a dropshipping brand or e-commerce brand. And also I do trading on the side. So how to do trading. By the way, I don't recommend anybody does trading with a hard physical labor cash. I just don't think. I think one should first create something like an e-commerce business. Because I mean, you've done trading before, have you?
Yeah.
It's
lots of it.
Lots, and it's like it's too unpredictable, you know. And you're working hard labor to then put that into this thing, which is just so unpredictable. Whereas if you start an e-commerce store,
yeah,
something which is a little bit more guaranteed that you can make money, then you can risk some of that into trading.
Yeah.
So that's what we teach people, how to start an e-commerce brand, and then later you can diversify that income into trading. If you want to then do investing, you can do that. But you need to create cash flow. So we teach people how to create this cash flow with e-commerce.
Yeah.
And that's why I love to always showcase evac, because in this day and age, there's a lot of people that do offer dropshipping help and e-commerce help, but you never see like the business that they actually have.
Yeah, most people are like, no, I can't show you my store because you're gonna steal my ideas.
I get that, but it's just like competition is what drives business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I look at my competitors and I say, I want to stay up tonight so I can catch up to you. I mean, competition is great. usually it might be bluff that people say, yeah, I don't want you to steal my idea. If somebody's gonna learn from me, I think I just owe you the simple thing of showing you what I'm doing. Like I'm preaching what's it? Practice what you preach.
Practice what you preach. Yeah.
I don't know if Samuel Noah and Ruben Noah,
No.
the Noah brothers. So they e-commerce guys from the Netherlands reside in Dubai.
Yeah.
And they've an Icon. It's a massive e-commerce store, and they also do the same thing. They showcase their business, their actual e-commerce clothing brand, and they do make tons of money just teaching people how to do the same thing. But you can see for a fact that they have a business.
So how did you start? Did you just say that I want to start teaching people how to do drop shipping, and then you learned it yourself while teaching people, or in first of all?
So what happened was, when I had this Discord and I made the video in like December of 2020.
Yeah.
What happened was somebody reached out to me and he's like, because I was saying I don't really have the item on hand and all that. I didn't know what dropship was. So I'm always also the advocate for just do it. Just like if you want to get started with something, don't contemplate getting started, just do it. Because now I'm already a foot deep into e-commerce. I didn't even know what it was. And somebody then tells me, no, what you're doing is e-commerce.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. Then I started to learn more about e-commerce. And then I started to incorporate some of the things I learned from e-commerce into my business. And then people just saw from that January to like September, people from my school, they were just seeing, and also just social media, they were seeing, okay, this guy's lifestyle is changing. I was selling no program, nothing. And that's where people started to ask me quite a lot, hey, can you help me out with this? Yeah, sure. I can make a few videos here and there. And then it got to the point where it's like, I mean, if you now want my personal assistance and I'm just going to charge you like 300, 400 Rand. And yeah, I've been growing that ever since September of 2021.
So you got a course that you're selling to people now?
Currently, yes.
Okay. What do you feel about when people say, if you're selling a course, it's probably you're a scammer or something?
I mean, look, the industry in its current state, I don't blame a person for thinking that way.
Yeah.
And I think one would get offended if it was true. So I don't really care, because at the same time, people can see, look, I'm making money from my business. And also, what I promise you in the program is the intellectual property. One, a bunch of things that I have incorporated through the years and I've done e-commerce for.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is also, you mainly charge very affordable. 550 Rand once off, 1,300 Rand, you're going to get somebody else to assist you. That's a once off payment. I believe that's very reasonable.
Okay.
And mainly what you're paying for is the labor, because I do have people that is going to speak with you. Like, I need to pay for them as well. I do believe that somebody should pay for at least the labor of the program. And we add in a bunch of such valuable things that I think 550 is a reasonable price, and
It's a crazy cheap price.
it is. Yeah, what I mean, I just need cash flow. Like, I don't want your money. If you want to learn, you can learn. I just need cash flow to do bigger business plays.
Okay.
Good. But I don't blame somebody for thinking about it.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to put the links to everything that he's talking about in the description. So if you want to sign up for the course or check out what exactly he's talking about, you can just see it in the description of this video.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, this entrepreneurship mindset, was mom and dad, were they both entrepreneurs or?
Yeah, so my dad is an entrepreneur. Same line. Like, I mean, only recently realized how we are very similar in the aspect that he does tell me how he also went down the path that I did. Dad-in-law, they just be saying just craziest life history or life story and the most random times. And you just told me, you're very much similar to myself. I also started businesses when I was young, and for that reason, he's also my biggest inspiration.
Okay.
Because I'd like to see the drive that he has.
Yeah.
And that inspires me a lot. And the mindset that he has, very wise man. And my mom also, she's a fashion designer. So yeah, they very much are entrepreneurial. I just always, from like day one, I've just loved business. I mean, primary school, grade 2, when it came to market day, that was my favorite day. Always thinking about the next thing to sell. In grade 5, that was market watches. So in our school, we had like a day where our grade would come up with a way to make cash.
Yeah.
And then would go into maybe like a quad, and then they would have the whole school, like grade by grade, come into the quad, and you'd have to like sell them something.
Yeah.
Whether it be sweets, whether it be whatever it is, you just made money. And you keep the profit. So it was like a good initiative, I think, probably one of the greatest initiatives for helping kids learn how to make a business.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just one of those things where I think once every year we'd just have a bunch of people, you'd have to come up with a business and you make money on that debt. And the traffic was the kids, the other school kids that were coming through. That's the, yeah.
Okay, so that entrepreneur was always here somewhere else.
Always, like, not a doubt in my mind that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's your take on school? Like, I personally feel like school is kind of very behind in what's currently happening. Like, for example, there's AI, and I just recently found out that you're not allowed to use ChatGPT to write your assignments and stuff like that. What's your point of view about school?
I couldn't handle that in university. I had a, like, I mean, was it last year? Yeah, last year.
What does this mean? Quick, you jumped out.
Like last year, what happened was I was in Dubai when we had to start school again, university. And I was using AI and it was completely fine. I did your class. I believe that university, if you are going to be doing like the top 5,
Yeah.
engineering, being a doctor, all of those things, I think that for those people, it's more necessary if you want to go down that line of things. I definitely don't think
Necessary to do what? To not use AI.
Oh, no. I mean, no. You got to use AI. You got to use AI. I mean, like going to university in that aspect. Is that what you mean? The idea about university, or do you mean AI in university?
I mean the idea of education itself.
Yeah. With that, like education, I believe is very important. Don't drop out of high school, I'd say, for sure not. And going into university, you need to know. I personally believe that if you're not going for the top 5, the ones where, that's very much needed, engineering, maybe even a lawyer, the things where like you need to go that route in order to become that.
Yeah.
But if somebody that wants to have a sustainable future, I think that nowadays it's not needed. Nowadays it's not needed. I think there's a lot more opportunities, and I definitely see it in the way that for my university, I mean, we're spending 80,000 rand in a year for university. And the part which is crazy is that like I'm over here, I'm offering you like you can learn this way.
Yeah.
You can learn how to do e-commerce, and sure, it might take you time. It might take you a year, maybe 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But I promise you'll probably crack it in that time frame. Additionally, we're spending 80,000 on school fees, right? For university. Mm-hmm. With that amount of money, if I use that in a business, with like a good mentor, I'm seeing that you could definitely make so much more out of that in this modern day and age. But another thing is, I'm having friends that go into engineering and they unfortunately failed in the second year or third year, and now they have to leave. Mm-hmm. Where does all that investment, like prior investment, go? It's gone. Yeah, that's something which is disheartening, because there's a lot of people that go through that.
Yeah. People
are spending a lot of money on school fees when there's unemployment rates is just skyrocketing, ever increasing.
And the way I look at it is like all that money that you invest into it, and then you are signing up for a 9-to-5 that will not pay you enough anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
if you are likely to get that 9-to-5.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when it comes, I mean, people, there always need to be people that have to do a 9-to-5. That's fine.
That's not you.
It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. But I mean, there's this sense of spending so much money, and also student debt is crazy. There's a lot of people that go into debt to then hopefully get a job. And I'm seeing there's a lot of personal people that go to university that don't even use their degree in the future. I think education's great, but like it's a very tricky one. It's great to be educated, but with all that money being spent, it's as risky as, you know, being an entrepreneur these days.
Yeah.
You spend all that money. If you get into student debt and you can't get a job, you know, finish university, and the one thing, even my teacher in Matric was telling me was, Aslam, are you sure you want to go to university? Like, she was saying, my parents are like, don't listen to her, don't listen to her. Are you sure you want to go to university? Because like,
One of those asking that was she's seeing like school is not good for you, or she's seeing like you like business too much or something.
I did like business too much. Also, I wasn't. That's one thing that young entrepreneurs always do, is that they get the money gets to their head. So that first term when people were saying, "Oh, this guy's making money," they put me in the school newspaper or like article, and then she was seeing that. That's one thing I would say. Do not let, if you're young and you make money, don't let it get to your head. You'll learn the right way. But she was every saying that I had a drive for business, and I was just putting in the numbers. Like, I was making more then while I was still in school. I was making more then than I would if I went to university, and I would have to get 5 years of experience then afterwards to then make what I was making at 18. So from a job. Yeah. So that's, for me, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I could do, in that whole time frame, I could spend my time so much better in creating my own ways, revenues, and growing my businesses than I would going to university. I ended up going to university. I did.
Was there ever like a point that was like your lowest?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of entrepreneurs will have their lowest when they reach zero. When you're at the top and then all of a sudden at the bottom again.
What you mean by that?
You just lose practically not all your money, but like you maybe have you have a lot of money, and then you do you know what I mean?
Like, I think people want to know what you're talking about.
So
let's be specific. What happened?
Every businessman will go from, okay, look, one example, 18.
Yeah.
I'm making a good amount of money, past matric, off to Stellenbosch. We enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy that December. Financial literacy is very important. People need to understand that. But obviously I was finally getting a little bit of freedom. I enjoyed that money way too much.
Okay.
I mean, like almost half of it gone in like 3 months, or just enjoying. And I have some money on a spend it now.
Are you shy to tell us what you mean by enjoying?
Oh, I mean, we went to like.
Oh, you don't want to expose yourself in the podcast.
We went to, I don't know if you know St. Francis.
No.
We went to Billy's Beach. It's like this festival. And just like that holiday, we're just
lots of partying.
Lots of partying. Yeah, I mean, and I'm happy I went through that stage now, because now I'm a lot more tame. But you realize how when you spend those stupid amounts of money, you realize when you then go to zero from either the wrong investments while you try to get back up, or I don't know, has that never happened in your life?
It has.
Yeah. It's just like you get into this state of like, how did I get here? And then you have to bounce back again. And I think every entrepreneur needs to go through that. Like, it has to happen. It's like every trader blowing an account. It has to happen.
Yeah.
Like you can't. If Elon Musk, all of these guys have gone to zero. And when you go to zero, that's your lowest points are also the best times where you can learn the biggest lessons.
Yeah.
And for me, I'd say being at zero, just financially wise, after, being up there, for sure has been the biggest lows. And when you feel like you can't get out of it, you just got to keep pushing and learn for your lessons. That's definitely one thing I'd say.
What's one thing that you strongly believe in that a lot of people disagree with you about?
Great question. One thing I strongly believe in, that's where I've asked to think about this one. I'd definitely say, Okay, one is I was having this conversation with the CMO over here. The one way to really just get wealthy and rich, you just gotta. I don't know if a lot of people don't believe this. Well, like you just gotta stop spending as much money as you might see people on social media. Also, social media.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of people, maybe it might be cowardly saying it because I do about on social media where I show my lifestyle here and there. But you also shouldn't be too focused on social media because a lot of people, you don't know how they are making their money through using credits. And, a lot of people try to compare themselves with these guys on social media. Yet you don't know how they're making that money. Another thing is, you don't need the fanciest things right now, especially if you're young. You don't need the fanciest stuff. Rather instead of spending it on luxury, I'd always say just focus on saving the money and spending all of that money on assets or cash flow generating things. And you don't need that M4 when you start making money. That's a big thing I think about.
I 100% agree with you because just this week, I had two instances. Like I'm checking out my status. A friend of mine, their friend bought a car. I don't know what car that was. It's a beautiful car, nice sunroof. I'm just looking at the dashboard. They're sitting in the back seats just taking a video. So I messaged them like, wow, congratulations to your friend, whoever this is. And then I'm just asking a bit more. Only to find out that this person just bought this car on credit because they got a new job with more money. And the first thing that they thought of was getting what? An expensive car. And this car was really looking expensive. Yeah. Then the funny thing is, same week, we had an interview with this other guy who was generated about 10 million rands in the past 3 years. He was making crazy money. But the guy comes to the interview driving the simplest car I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And then I'm asking myself the question that why is it that like someone who has got a job and gets a bit of money wants to buy something that's expensive, and yet the person who probably owns the business is driving the simplest thing that you find?
I think, but that's something that I don't know. I maybe believe that maybe in the future, people will start to realize that that's how you actually make money,
Yeah.
Because I know personally, my most wealthiest friends, you would not at all recognize or realize that they wealthy.
Yeah.
And I think usually the reason how I stopped to spend as much money as before is like most of the time you're gonna buy something trying to impress people you don't even like. Yes, that's the one thing. And when people then get, like now you say, a job or in e-commerce, you're now making this amount of money, and you think, okay, maybe if I buy this in credit, everything will be because I'm making this amount of money. Nothing is in this life, nothing is guaranteed. And you need to like triple make sure that firstly you're gonna have enough to cover it, but to make impulse decisions, because with a car, there's so many other things that I have to go into consideration from maintenance. Also the one thing which is that amount of money that could have, instead of buying that car, could have gone into, again, creating something that can give you more cash flow.
Yeah.
So that maybe by the time, delayed gratification, 3 years, 5 years, you buy that car like it was nothing, But also at the same time, these cars, when you buy them on credit, I'm one for experiences. Like I enjoy traveling and all of that.
Yeah.
When you buy these cars, especially on credit, like you're buying it, you're going to pay more at the end of the day, but also it's depreciating at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right now, I think with the man that's making a lot of money and he doesn't need to prove anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to prove anything. I think that's the way it should go. I've actually, when it comes to Instagram, I was posting like I'm outside. But nowadays it's more quiet. And, nowadays I've been making more because I'm focused more on actually doing things that will make more cash.
Yeah.
And Joe, when it comes into these cars, I think people need to reevaluate like the decisions that they're making, because the horror stories I'm hearing, for people that realize, well, I shouldn't have gotten this car. And just like the university, 5 years or a few years down the line, you can't do the payments anymore. Yeah, they take it. All your hard work, that money, especially when you lose that cash and you realize, dang, if I'd invested that properly, imagine how much more I'd have been like up. Now I've just lost all of that, that momentum. I think it's tough.
What habits or routines that you have been constantly doing, you feel like they made the biggest impact in who you are today?
That's a great question. Working out for sure, for sure. If you saw me 2 years, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
I was like this. My whole life would be like this. I think that changed my life, maybe even more than the money did.
Yeah.
Because like it's I go to gym every day. If I have to help Remy out of here, they 2 times a day. Like it's one of those things where even on the rainy days, like there's no off there. There's no off there. On the rainy days, I'll walk here, but it's nice. So it's right up there.
Okay.
On the rainy days, I'll go to the gym because like it builds your mindset even when you don't want to. That's the days where you have to. It builds your mindset to where you have like it's just something you can't explain. Like I now have, because I can destroy this one aspect of things and you just keep on building it up, then going to work or just opening up your laptop to do work will just become easier. And every single day, there's no off days on work, working out. What other habits? I've stopped sleeping late to wake up 8 a.m. Maybe for some that do the 5 a.m. stuff. Sometimes I do it 5 a.m. That's pushing it. That's pushing.
So you'll say you stop sleeping late. So what time you sleep now?
No, the 10, 11.
Okay.
10, 11. No,
Sleep at 2 a.m.
2 a.m., 3 a.m. like last year. And, waking up in the morning just dazed out. Not good sleep. And it just becomes so much slower to get the day started. And also making with habits, it's just making other small habits. So when I wake up, maybe I'll clean the house or just do something else productive. Like just the small habits that I need to do before I can actually start working. But like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't do those ice baths. I'm one I'm one that like
Winter in Cape Town is cold.
no. All these ice balls and like all of these, no. I wake up, something small, maybe clean, sweep or whatever, working. That's when you're most fresh. I don't know how people are doing these 3-4 hour things in the morning before they start working.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm tired by the time it's time to work. But I'd say for sure, gymming. I was weighing like 59 kgs in matric or like first year, which is tiny.
Good.
And
now you are?
now I'm 62.
Okay. So look, I'm joking.
I'm 73. I'm 73 kgs now. It's still getting there, but like it's just completely different. I feel different, much more clear and mood.
Okay, I feel motivated to go to the gym now.
It's the best. Better than making more money is just go to the gym.
Nice. And what about all the days when you don't feel motivated? Like, what makes you disciplined, either for the gym but more specifically, business?
Okay, so you see, when you create habits and it becomes your routine, it's like you don't go to home, you don't go to sleep without brushing your teeth. It has to happen. There has to be a very good reason why I'm not going to drop down and do a few push-ups. And there has to be a good reason why I can't open up my laptop. I mean, thank goodness we work from our phones.
Yeah.
So even me being on my phone, running a few emails for an hour, 2 hours, that's work. So I genuinely I can't answer that question because I don't remember the last day. I genuinely don't remember the last day that has happened.
Okay. What's one decision that has made you the most money and lost you the most money as well? Like one decision gave you a ton of money and then you made another decision and it cost you a lot.
One decision that's made me more money for sure is the use of advertisements. Very weird one because obviously I'm a guy in e-commerce and I should have known it. But we were making a lot of cash just organically through word of mouth, through maybe an organic video, very viral use, viral. But then when I went on to understanding how ads work and got the whole funnels and everything, I would say that has taken a lot more pressure off of me having to worry about every video going viral. You can just pay for the people to come and see your product. And if you have a winning product or winning formula, winning business model, it's just a matter of how many people you're talking to.
It's just a volume game.
It's just a volume game.
Yeah.
And also, in digital space, if you're selling a program, that's not going to be an issue. Supply would be an issue, but in the physical space, your volume will reach a supply cap. So now I'm actually at that point where like I can't spend a lot of money on ads because we can't then supply. So we now get stock and everything. But ads is the one thing, and the other thing that has made one holidays. Like when I went to Dubai, for example, I did it for it's a marketing thing for Hermes, also a holiday for sure, but I did just do it overboard, and it's those learning lessons where like I just spend too much on on travel. I spent was the last year a little bit over 100K in Dubai one time. But
so wait, you're saying you go on a holiday and it makes you money? How?
Well,
correlation like?
Well, I would use for one is content. I like to vlog. I like to vlog. I still do. I just don't have time now. But content for my one brand, for Hermes, it acts as a double whammy, because I know that people do like they all gonna. Unfortunately, that's just how this world works. Sure, you have a business, but like you're at home the whole day. You aren't doing anything. So go on a little bit of a holiday. I also just like to buy. But unfortunately, I just ran into so many issues that costed me a lot of money. Like one thing was the government had given they put my middle name as my first name on my passport when they issued it out. So I'm obviously now booking my flight with my name.
Yeah.
So now I get to the desk, and then they're like, no, we now just have this issue where we can't just let you in now. You have to get the whole switch.
Yeah.
And they're telling me, unfortunately, it's too soon for boarding, so you can't change it. I'm like, dude, it's just switch it around. That costed me 17,000 rand just to get another ticket, because I've already booked for my whole expenses and accommodation.
Yeah.
And the accommodation was like 50,000. I'm now speaking to them like, hey, if I can, rebook some other time. They're saying no. So that one costed me like 17,000, and it's just that was probably the one that costed me a lot of money, a lot of momentum just from stupid things, even in that trip, which was amazing. Slow, probably was one of my worst decisions. I think, other than that, no. The small things like maybe parting when you shouldn't be parting, stuff like that, would also later down the line just lead into a massive effect of, a shortfall of money.
Okay. So one of your main businesses is dropshipping.
Yeah.
Let's talk a bit about that. Like maybe someone's listening to this and they want to get into dropshipping. What are the steps that they should take to?
Okay, so I think when it comes to dropshipping, they should first, there is dropshipping products which are in demand, right? Those are your guns, your what's it, spray guns or whatever. What unique guns? No. I mean, those water guns. There's like Nerf guns, whatever people want.
Yeah, please be clear. But say a picture, we take this video down. Like
no, not those. No, very friendly ones. Whatever unique products people like to find, that's the one dropshipping method.
Yeah.
But that one, it usually doesn't it doesn't have a longevity to it.
Okay.
So whatever's trending now won't really be trending in 6 months, or in a year. You can't really put in your whole foot that this is gonna work. So, but you can do that. There's either one, you do the trending dropshipping, or you do branded dropshipping. I recommend branded dropshipping. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been doing.
What is branded dropshipping?
It's like the same thing as like a Nerf gun, for example, if you want to sell that, but you create a nice little brand around it. Mm-hmm. Create a brand around it. You have like an about us, and you like it feels more corporate than just that little dropshipping by the store, that little Shopify store with no name. There's no like, it doesn't really look like there's something behind it. There's no value. Yeah, there's no real value. Whereas if you do a branded dropshipping thing, especially with an evergreen product, I would say an evergreen product, because I don't want to give my idea away, but people already know what to do. So people need gaming desktops.
People don't know what evergreen is.
Evergreen is like a product which will always sell throughout the year.
Okay. So you shouldn't focus on something that's just trending now, but something that even next year will still be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even evergreen will just always sell. And even if it's something like seasonal, even if it's seasonal products, but you know that when this thing only we sell during summer, because beach umbrellas do well, and some people need beach umbrellas. But you know that during that time, they'll for sure make money. There will always be something that's needed in 2 times of the year, start of the year and end of the year, right? Maybe in the middle part of the year, you'll see a little bit of a downward in your business. Every business goes through times when it's not going to be great business. That's something that everybody needs to understand and just need to get over it. And then when it comes into an evergreen product, where you know that somebody will need this forever, then you can start thinking about the long-term game. So if people will always need beach umbrellas, then I would say we'll just use that as an example. So if you now have found a problem, right? I would say number 1, try to find a problem that you can see, right? And then supply that problem.
Okay.
People would usually say, go to Alibaba. And no, first you need to find a problem that is around, persistent. And then you either ask people around, like, if I were to offer you this product, would you buy it? Okay. What I say on my program is, rather, if you see that there's a problem, try and create a TikTok account and try post videos of that product, even if you want to order one of that item, and show how it solves your problem. So what I say is, get your product number 1, right? That hopefully solves a problem. And then number 2 is start your TikTok page in order for you to market to these people. And I say that try post viral content that is marketed towards these people. Now, you need to understand their pain points, these people's problems. What are their pain points?
Yeah.
So what is causing them so much pain that they need your product?
That's what you mean by pain points.
Yeah. So why do people need to go to evac to buy a gaming PC? Well, it's because we are the most affordable, we're convenient, and we're going to ship it out quickly. And then that's one of the biggest, usually will always be budget and time and convenience. But pain points, maybe for these beach umbrella guys, they need to get affordable umbrellas, very durable umbrellas, whatever. Find these pain points, and those pain points that you create, maybe like 5 pain points.
Yeah.
Those are going to be just hooks for your videos. That's going to capture their attention on the ideal target audience.
Okay. So in other words, like when you say 5 pain points, those are like different videos, or you wrote them in the same video.
No, those are 5 different videos. You can constantly expand that and reiterate those. But those are 5 different hooks that your customer is that ideal customer, because you need to tell TikTok, this is who I want to see myself.
Okay.
So those hooks is going to lead them into learning more about the product. They'll see how it works, and then you'll sell them. So like, why these are the most affordable beach umbrellas in South Africa for you to use this summer, and you just over there showing the beach umbrella, you're just showing it out, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can order it over here. Now you post it on social media. If people on social media are giving you, if you don't use any money on ads, and you're getting comments, you're getting likes, you're getting this, that's a green light. That means you can put more. In trading, we call it confluence before you enter a trade.
Yeah.
It's 1 or 2 more positive things that align for you to then go further into doing that thing. So when it comes into people giving you good feedback, that is then another sign to then spend money on advertisements.
Okay.
So when you spend money then on advertisements, and you're seeing a lot of positive, there's a lot of positive, feedback from people, then you can either sell to people on WhatsApp when getting started. I would always recommend getting started with EFT payments to get the first few people in. I use also Card & Co but that one's a little bit, I've got a video about how to use Card & Co. Don't have to pay any monthly fees. It's like pretty much 2 landing pages, which you then create into one website by using a button to link the 2.
Okay.
it's a way for people to circumvent having to spend money on Shopify or Wix.
You said card.
Card.co. So CARRD.co. Okay. So if people don't want to do that and they maybe want to take that risk and spend it on Shopify, people have that money, then you can also create yourself a Shopify store and then have your items listed over there. And then put that link into the TikTok account or put your WhatsApp there. So what we have is we have a WhatsApp on our website. So people can you always need to have a way for people to contact you quickly. So email, WhatsApp is a great one. I always recommend for people.
Convenient, everyone has their folders. Yeah.
Exactly. I would always recommend for people to create a professional WhatsApp profile where people can actually trust. And usually people just want to have a sense of a sense of if anything goes wrong, this person is going to be responsible. So like even on eBay, they'll just see me, for example, and they'll be like, okay, I see his face, I see this, it's just, he'll be responsible just in case anything goes wrong. Just that small little bit. Have great communication with your customers, and great communication with your customers will lead into their word of mouth. That's another marketing avenue for you, for a person that, like, just by having great customer service, they're going to have to tell other people. Another marketing avenues, ads. And then when reviews also. So I now, in the last 3 months, I spoke about the importance of reviews. Google reviews, Hello Peter reviews, and you need to get these things up because it's the digital form of word of mouth.
Yeah. So you'll buy based on what other people are doing.
Exactly. So you actually do need to focus on this way more than people assume. We're actually thinking of a new marketing way, is because a lot of people look for reviews of a business. So he's just thinking like, what happens? Reddit is always that one that will be there. And Facebook would also be one that will be there. So we're thinking of creating like pretty much conversations in these platforms speaking about the service of the one business, because people will always go, and it's still like marketing at the same sense. But reviews are huge. Reviews are very huge. That's something that people focus about, because if you create over a span of 3, 4, 5 years, this is the thing with drop shipping, a unique toy compared to drop shipping an evergreen product that builds reviews over time.
Yeah.
Is that over time, the work to prove yourself becomes less.
Yeah.
And once that's the thing where it's like, you're so trusted, all you now need to do is spend money on ads. Like, you don't need to show why you are reliable in the industry and the space anymore.
Yeah.
So I always say to my guys, it's going to be tough in the starting stages, but build up those reviews, build up a good name for yourself, and it will just become easier along the way.
Yeah.
And hopefully in the future, like I say, you then have, you go from dropshipping now to e-commerce. And e-commerce is where you now have a few of these umbrellas. You have a stock house somewhere.
So dropshipping and e-commerce is different.
Yeah. So dropshipping is when it's like, it says it in the name, dropshipping. You just like drop it. You don't have it on you, right? You drop it off at the customer, from the supplier. So you don't touch it at all.
But e-commerce, you've got like your own warehouse and stuff like that.
Not necessarily starting off as a warehouse, but like if you even say I want to order 3 of these mics, because it's going to increase the time. It's very, because now I've understood that dropshipping and e-commerce, it's just not watered down. It's just business. It's physical business, just put to the digital realm. I like to say it. A store on Shopify is nothing different compared to a physical store.
Yeah.
Because how do you visit a physical store? Well, you walk inside of it. How do you visit a digital store? You click the URL, you're now a visitor. How do you, the checkout cart thing is exactly this, like when people give you add-ons on your checkout.
Yeah.
It's exactly like when you already have your baskets and you walk into the checkout of a physical store. You then have those little side aisles where you can take things more.
Yeah.
Take more things. Those are, it's all like the same sort of thing. And when you go now into e-commerce, is that you have more of the items on hand, so it can increase the time frame of or the delivery on the items. So that's why Amazon then, became so huge, because they just want to have the quickest delivery. That makes customers happy. The more you can make a customer happy, the bigger your business grows.
So it's starting to sound a bit deep, and I'm just looking and thinking like maybe the person who is watching this. Do you feel like this is something that anyone can do, or it's only for people who are maybe, I don't know, certain experts, people who are nerds when it comes to online things, or what?
I never knew it was something like that, but I mean, I tell it how it is. And when I had the more simplistic version of e-commerce, which was go to Alibaba and do this and do that and do that, sure, but like you want to see more of, and it's exactly why I say in my program we teach more about like how to do it, and then people really start to understand. I think people understanding the truth is more important than the watered down version of just going to Alibaba and you wanting to selling to the US. I wouldn't recommend that as a person from a third world country.
Why not, when they have got obviously more money and it's nicer to earn in the US dollars?
Because when you are paying for advertising space to America, you're paying the currency difference because their value of cash is more important. And these social media platforms, these advertising platforms, they understand this. So you're therefore going to be paying 10 to 20 times more for exactly the same amount of traffic that you would get in South Africa. Meaning that for 1,000 people to watch my video, I might spend 10 rand. But for the same in America, I now need to spend 200 rand because, like, if I get a sale, they understand that if I get a sale, a $1,000 sale, using 1,000 rand of ads, that's going to be 18,000. But no one has that type of money over here. If you're understanding what I'm saying,
Get you? Yeah.
So because their value of currency is just more, you then need to spend so much more on advertising in order to get to them if you're going to be starting from a third world country. And your money can just do so much more here. You maybe one made like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 starting off here, but it's more likely that it's going to work out with the budget that a lot of people have in the third world country.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Then, like, you said that at first you were focusing on organic. How did you transition, you personally? Because I understand, like, the brand itself. I don't know whether you work with people, help you with the ads or what. But like you, how did you make that transition from, okay, I'm so used to making content that gets me sales, and now I want to rely more on paid advertising?
So I think I mainly started to realize this when I just saw that it's way too unrealistic. It's more unrealistic of a business model to post and hope you get views. Whereas like when you start to spend a certain amount of money month after month, you will then work based off of ROI.
Yeah.
So I can judge more for the future how my business would do dependent on the amount of money I'm spending in the business.
Yeah.
Whereas I can post a video and I don't know if that's going to do enough volume for us to like make it. But if I do post a video, which I do spend ad money on, and it does organically do well, that's just bigger props to me. But at the end of the day, I just want a positive ROI.
Yeah.
I don't mind spending 5,000 rand. Also, these people are just directly like, these are customers. Because of the hooks and because of everything, I'm training the TikTok account to understand who my customer is. They're going to go and find my ideal customer. Whereas if it goes viral, it doesn't always mean that it's going to go to my ideal customer.
Yeah.
These ones will usually be my ideal customers. And when I just saw that it makes it easier, I thought that was when it was time to switch over to we have an organic funnel and like an organic like little there, but we also have ads is more reliable.
Okay. So are you the one who's running the ads, or you've got someone behind you who's helping with that?
So currently I did create the ad like strategies and all of those things. And the one thing with business, which I also must say to other people, is that you can start to delegate work just depending off of the SOPs, the standard of procedures that you're giving to anyone. So with these things, I will give the SOP and the strategy to someone that will literally understand a month. I can probably give it to anyone. That's the one thing about people can get jobs. These days, people can get jobs just working for online businesses. Like, you don't need to always create your online business. There's also ways for people to make money just by being a customer service agent or whatever it is. But with these SOPs, I can give to someone and they can just copy the exact same strategies and
Get the same result.
get the same results. I just don't want to focus on it. I don't want to be a worker in my own business. I need to like think about how to expand this whole thing. And if it's going to take away from my time to expand everything, I'd rather have somebody else do it. And hopefully they've done the line. That person gains so much more experience. They'll have their own understanding or, then again, work and grow together.
Do you ever get to a point where like you feel under pressure to keep achieving success? I mean, like people have seen you make money on your YouTube channel and on your Instagram.
Yeah, I get it.
And then now it's quiet before Q4.
I think nowadays I'm more done with this carry. I mean, I'm more like I just somebody because somebody actually has told me before, funny story. You're like, oh, we thought you went broke because you stopped posting. Like that's people can't enjoy their own private time. No, nowadays like it's hard. Why must I explain to people, my own vision, my own goals? No, I think that's just crazy because I like having my own. Like I don't like anymore just showing too much. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And let's talk about this podcast. If your future kids, grandkids who are watching this podcast, what would you want them to feel and think about you?
That's interesting. I'd hope that the man that I've become is someone that makes them all proud, and I hope that they could see the drive that I have now is still the same as it will be when they're watching. And yeah, I think that's what it's likely about it. I just wanted to be proud at the end of the day. I also want to look back at this even myself.
Yeah.
And just be like, big achievement to be even featured on here again. It's already been crazy for myself. Obviously, I did watch your things in the past, and I'm pretty sure I just want things to proud. Yeah.
Nice. And then now I want you to talk directly into the camera. Someone is in a situation where they only have 1,000 rands or 1,000 US dollars. That's the only money that they have. Can you advise them on what they can do to change the situation?
Okay, so if you had your lost $1,000, I wouldn't say open up an e-commerce store. I don't know, would I? I'd say okay. Interesting. Equip yourself firstly with some form of knowledge. If you're in your last 1,000, equip yourself with some form of knowledge. I would. And is this for online money?
This is, yeah. Well, since you're an online money guy, I could make sense for you to talk about that.
Okay, the first one I would say if you have a certain skill that you can sell to other people, definitely go with that avenue. I mean, there's a lot of people that have weird things that they can actually teach to other people to make them some form of money. And I think using social media to post your talent is a great way for you to also then spend that money on ads to get to speak to more people about the talent that you have, and or skill that you have. And hopefully you're able to convert and get sales from that on Instagram or through WhatsApp if it's a reasonable offer. If you don't want to do the digital side of things, then I would recommend that. I mean, would it be biased if I say going to e-commerce? But I'd say you need to equip yourself with some form of skill. I'd say get some form of knowledge in e-commerce or trading or something where you can use that money to. It's so 1,000. I mean, like,
It's not a lot of money.
no, it's good, but like I'm trying to see if I'm looking at my e-commerce, for example,
Yeah.
You don't need to go and learn. I'm going to say, okay, if you were to buy my program, hypothetically, now you've equipped yourself with the knowledge, right? I would then say, if you have 1,000, get a product which answers everything I said. Problem solving, get that item in. If it's a product that can be reused and recycled for content, even greater, that you can keep on, like a gaming desktop, for example. They're setting this up. Look, you can create a lot of content with one gaming desktop, you know. I would just say that. So it's something like that where it's like, a beach umbrella. How many beaches can you go to and just keep on plotting it up and like just keep on thinking about unique content? And maybe you spend a 300 rand cost price. If you spend 700 rand on ads, because for 100 rand you'll get 19,000 views. So that's what, 19,000, let's say 20,007, 140,000 views if you spend 700 of, what was that? 700 on ads. That's 140,000 people that are watching your umbrella things in summer season.
And obviously someone is going to buy.
You're going to speak to someone eventually that's at least going to take, if they're able to even bigger bonus, if they can buy the same umbrella that you're advertising, then you cut your cost out because then that 300 rand basically like nothing. And if you're able to get like three sales, 4 sales where you're making a good amount of profit, you can at least get back to your base level. And now you have that content already to just keep on recycling. Now spend 1,000 rand on that and see how far you can go. Keep on doing that. I think that's quite a decent idea.
And then is there any one thing that you bought that you thought would give you happiness, but then once you had it, you realize, nah.
I think I didn't. I'm lucky enough that before I even wanted to buy cars, like I'm so thankful. Like before I got my license, otherwise I would have probably spent so much on cars. So at least I can't say a car. I'm not much into materialistic things anymore. Okay. I'd say honestly, maybe a holiday. Like a holiday with many people. Not. I enjoy spending money on things that I enjoy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'd say also just bad decisions with holidays and the money wasted there. I think that's about it.
Okay. Happiness.
No.
And for the people who want to follow you, find out more about the stuff that you're into, please tell us where you can find you.
Perfect. So you can find me on Instagram by Aslam Sulaman on Instagram. My TikTok is Aslam Sulaman, and my YouTube is Aslam Sulaman by Aslam Sulaman as well. That's the 3 main ones.
Okay. And then your course?
Program, you can speak to us through the link on TikTok. It will be down there. You can start a private conversation with us. And then that's where we'll take you to our private group where people can then see from we post a lot of free information. So like, it's just like my journal, you know, and I feel like speaking about how you should save more money, then I'll speak about it there. And just like helping people. And then when people decide, okay, look, I enjoy the content, I enjoy what this guy's providing, now it's time for me to upgrade, then you can upgrade. You don't need to by all means. But that's by the link in the description of the TikTok, that's where you'll be able to find me.
Man, thanks so much for coming for the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Actually, I came.
Yo, thank you so much for coming. Hey, it's a pleasure coming through. Yo, heavily appreciated.